Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026. And I want to expand a little bit on the subject of enhanced sports performance. And I'm bringing some examples to you today to demonstrate why I think electricity, and hear me out, is part of this electrical performance or enhancing sports performance. The electricity. And the reasoning behind it has to do with a lot of things that I'm seeing online. There's some excellent ways to train the body. And I agree with these things. Whereas you want to stimulate the muscle, trigger it, activate it, however you want to describe it, and get it to respond in a positive manner, in a way you want it to respond. Whether it's faster, more agile, better reaction time, all these things. And one of these examples that I see, I'm going to demonstrate to you what I'm seeing. And it comes with an exercise ball, okay? And I see people taking the exercise ball, sitting down on a bench of sorts, and taking their feet and kicking it like this. You know, to create the speed, to activate the muscle. And they say that this training method is what gets your muscle to respond faster. So when I see this stuff, I think about, message transmission or electrical transmission. If you think about it, in my house here, I've got lights. I've got lights on the ceiling, light bulbs. There's one over here. You can't see it on camera. And the electricity that's in the wires is what turns the light bulb on, essentially. And when you flip the switch on the wall, as soon as you flip it, the electricity instantly carries forward and turns on the light bulb. So when it comes to performance, could you speed up that time that it takes to light up the light bulb? And the answer is yes, because building codes today use typical copper wiring with nickel in it, I think. Now, for people that know things about in the industry, in the electrical industry, I like to also race radio controlled model cars. Mine is currently in a box, in a crate, but maybe next week I'll pull it out of the box and I'll show you. But what I'm getting at is that in order for the electricity to travel faster within a system, sometimes you have to change the materials or change something, the properties of the materials inside the system in order for it to run faster. And in the radio controlled competitive racing world, they use silver solder to connect wires to that of components and so forth, and that basically reduces the resistance, meaning that the transmission of the energy, the electricity, is faster. And so when I think about the human body and training it, so, using these techniques as I just demonstrated a few moments ago, where you're kicking the ball faster, I'm like, well, that generally doesn't increase the sports performance because it has to do more with what's inside, and that is the electricity, essentially, and the voltage in the body, which is important in transmitting that signal. But as part of the electricity and the voltage, you also have to have the connectivity as well. So if you have copper, mineral copper, does it improve with that electricity? I would think there's something to be said about that, because there's a lot of people that are copper deficient, and when they are copper deficient, are they going to have some consequences of that? And and I'm talking about like the mitochondria as part of the system that's involved with the production of energy. Does it play a role? I think it really does. And so another example that comes to mind is when I play my accordion. And in order for my fingers to move faster, I rely on how to best describe this? A feeling, a slash technique. That's kind of like where I'm taking my hand and I'm moving it like I have Parkinson's disease. So basically, I'm shaking my wrist like this really fast. So you can see. And I'm doing this purposely. So I can control this. And I can keep doing it nonstop. Now, this technique is kind of how I describe, where I'm not using a full muscle contraction per se, but I'm relying on the electrical connection inside my body to do this. And there is a certain technique playing on the accordion where I use this feeling. And when my hands are warm, meaning there's no circulation cut off to my hands, and sometimes the accordion straps actually influence that, where it cuts off the circulation. And it's one of the reasons why I do shoulder exercises to help strengthen my shoulders, so that when I play my accordion, I don't have this issue of lack of circulation. But what I'm getting at is that this technique here, where I'm shaking my hand really fast, like you can see how quickly I'm moving it, like the camera angle of the frames per second doesn't pick it up really well because it's only so fast, right? But if I were to use a high-speed camera, you would be able to see how fast I'm moving my fingertips and so forth in the energy. So I'm controlling this purposely like this. And this technique I use to play my accordion, like I described, where I'm creating a sound called, it's like tick-ta, 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 tick-ta. In order to have this speed, I have to basically move my hand like this, tick-ta, 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 and I use this kind of sensation. And I've done it for years. Now, when you get older, if the electricity is going to start depleting or dropping down, is it going to affect the rate of speed that I can do this technique? And I would say yes, because the rate, or the ability to create this accompaniment, it's called. I have to be able to have that connection, that speed, that electrical connection inside my body. And so does the use of these things assist with that electrical connection inside the body, in combination with the cleanest and most absorbable water produced by the John Ellis machine, which is called the Electron 5. Is there a connection to this stuff in increasing the sports performance? Is it a coincidence that I can skip faster than 224 beats per minute when I'm doing the fitness stress testing? Well, I can skip faster. I can't do it for as long, but I can skip faster. So is there a connection between enhancing sports performance? Yes. And is there a connection to increasing endurance? Yes. Endurance is tied to the amount of energy you have, not necessarily how much you can create or how much movement you can move. So the voltage or the electricity is going to play a role first with regards to how fast you can do it. And then how much energy you have is how long you can do it. Simple. Like, I mean, it's basic. And so I like to focus on how fast I can do it. And this is one of those things where I think assists this in how fast I can do things. So maybe that's the testing that I need to do, is to see how fast I can actually go. Just out of curiosity. And I think I might be pleasantly surprised. Because, like I described, the fascia is part of that process, the mitochondria. And the fascia is kind of like a thin layer between the skin and the muscle. So it sits in between. And that fascia runs from head to toe. So if you have a dehydrated fascia, is that going to affect how fast your muscle moves? It's a very good question. Well, I would say it probably has an influence, because I can skip faster today than I could back in 2014. Or in 2018, actually. I stand corrected, 2018. Because that's when I did the very first fitness test that I have recorded. And I'll show you where. This is the actual Facebook post, which was on June 15th, 2018, where I was skipping at a pace of 173 at that time. And that was the average when I was doing the 250 skips. And I thought I was fast. But I'm faster today. Not just, and I was coordinated quite well at that time, because I like to dance, formal dancing. So I was always active when I was younger. Running, I did a lot of running when I was a kid, and riding my bicycle and so forth. We didn't have Nintendo until it was 1989. 1980, late 1988, 89, about that time. So I was 13 years old. Prior to that, I was outside every single day. There was no Nintendo. There was ColecoVision and some Atari, but I didn't. I shouldn't say I didn't. I did have ColecoVision in 1986. So, but that was, it wasn't very good, the ColecoVision, to be honest. Like, in comparison to when you played Nintendo, when Nintendo came out, Super Mario, that grabbed your attention. You could play that thing for hours. Whereas the ColecoVision, it was clunky. It wasn't very good. And so, as a kid, I'm like, okay, this is mediocre at best. But when Nintendo came out, then of course everything changed, from a fitness perspective. So at that point, I was, not as active, but I still remained active in a way where I was playing outside sports, doing like field. What did we call it? We played with a tennis ball instead of a soccer ball. We played with a tennis ball and played sports that way. That was our cheap way of doing it, and that's what I did when I was a kid, throughout elementary school, all the way through to even into junior high. So staying active is important, most importantly, because if you're sitting down in a chair all the time, are you gonna be depressed about it? Probably you will. There's nothing. You can't replace the feeling of feeling good. Without being active, it just, you need to be active. And for me, this is my way of feeling good, as part of using the X49 and the X39 to activate those peptides naturally. And I support my digestive system with the cleanest and most absorbable water, in my opinion. And after I started introducing this, that was the one piece that was missing kind of in my day-to-day things, where it now it elevated what was happening inside my body, and I feel it. And because of this, I continue to do what I do, and repeatedly every single day. It feels good. I wake up out of bed in the morning and I'm ready to go. I rest well, and I cannot complain. So having the pieces of the puzzle to mold them together is so valuable. And I keep things simple too. When I talk about minerals, I took a pinch of salt, let it dissolve in my mouth, drink the water. I mean, it's not rocket science. And when you do those simple things, you're going to reap the benefits. Make good choices. So with that, I'm going to continue today with doing the shoulders, rotator, and trap exercises. And basically, it's going to be a repeat of last week. If you've seen any of the previous episodes, you'll know that I'm pretty plain Jane, but I make the muscle do the work. And when I do, I'll tell you, my shoulders, they feel good. And there's no denying that how it feels when I play my accordion. It's great. I have no issues. And because of that, I've got good strength. So let's start with doing the 9-minute warm-up. That's where I'm going to take the heart rate monitor, as I usually do here. See you there. I'm going to turn the speaker on. The glutes are sore today. I can feel them. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to set the metronome at, all right, 140. And I'm going to turn this on. The heart rate monitor. I'm going to use the beaded rope today. And let's begin. So, and I was already outside today, shoveled the walk, the driveway twice, because it was snowing all night. And it continued to snow throughout the morning. I can feel the glutes from this is a basic bounce, and I can feel the glutes there and there. They're reminding me of the torture I put them through yesterday. And watching back the replay that I did from yesterday, I'm going to have to focus more on those pistol squats. I think there's room for growth, and I'm looking forward to next week to seeing how I'm going to progress through that, because the pistol squat is basically a very good test of how good or how strong your quads are. And adding the vibration as part of the process really does add an element of challenge and a lot of discomfort as well. So with the electricity part that I talked about with the coordination, it also plays a role with how well you skip too. So if you have good electricity in the body, this type of activity should be simple for you or easier for you, because it is a validation of how good the electricity is in your body, because it's tied to that electrical connection. So timing just got a little off, largely because when my hands are crisscrossed like this, it's moving the hands in the reverse direction. So it does add an element of confusion, which is good. Which validates for me that I should do it more often. So by having the tempo, obviously with the metronome, it helps with coordination. So on the very first beat, crisscross. So when the 6.5 minutes is up, I'm going to switch to doing double unders with just 8. So 8 double unders, and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. So you get the idea. This rope here is I got from Buddy Lee. So if you're interested in the same rope, you can get the same color. The handles are are ribbed, so to speak, and they're longer. So all right, so in 10 seconds, I'm going to switch to doing double unders and 8 alt running runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, first exercise I will do to start with will be the dead man hang. So, I'm going to try. So there's my twitch. Connection is good. Like here. How about both hands? How about just the left? The right. If there's one thing I can tell right now is the sinus, my sinuses, I can smell the activation of, you guessed it, the X49. And for me, it's very distinct. And I usually find that it takes a little bit of time for my body to create it. But when it does, I can sense it. I really can. All right. Now back just to display the metronome, so you can see my heart rate has recovered nicely. Now, I'm going to start with okay. Three, two, one. I think that was 21. Whew. My hands are cold. I can feel it. Largely the temperature down here is cold as well. Let's have a look. Okay, so you can see the red light. And I'll just switch. You can to show you the temperature down here. So 15.7 degrees Celsius, which is equate to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is cold down here. Now, first exercise is going to be the face pull, and I will use the vibration plate as well. Just realized forgot the remote for the vibration plate. Okay. Yeah, it's about there. So I'm going to take red bands. One is attached here, so you can see this one is going to be on the right hand. So I alternate. I put it on the right elbow actually, largely because I want the delts to be doing the work, not the forearm. So by stepping away here, you can lean forward to have more stretch on the trapezius a little bit, but essentially you want that muscle to get worked. And by being on the vibration plate, it provides a nice disturbance. So I'm holding a green band in my hands here, and the red ones are tugging on the elbows. So it's a slow negative now. So here, when my elbows are at shoulder width apart, that's I start when I move my elbows out about 25-30%. So maybe like to a 45-degree angle from that of my torso, that's when I can start to feel the resistance pulling from the bands. And then you execute it there forward, press up like this. So this is a very good variation, in my opinion, to do the face pull and to get the rear deltoids all fired up. And the trapezius as well involved on the side. So the rear delts, the traps, helps correct your posture. And because of this exercise alone, I feel the difference when I play my accordion. Can roll the shoulders a little bit forward to get a little different stretch on the traps. Wow. All right. So that's the face pull, or my variation of the face pull. The next exercise is going to be what a lot of people call archers. So basically it's like holding a bow and arrow, pulling it this way and this, and that way you're activating the rear deltoid. But it's here, it's the position and how you're pulling the bow, right? So you have you're pulling with the deltoid when it's at its fully stretched position. And since I started doing the archer as well, in addition to the face pull, it is a nice combination of the two to make sure you get that muscle activation through the deltoid's full range of movement. And because of that, if you have sore shoulders when you're sleeping, if you're a side sleeper, the deltoid, the rear deltoid, can assist with keeping the bone and the joint, the ball, in the socket, right? So if you have, let's say, if you separated your shoulder at one point in time due to some kind of sports injury, there we go, then the archer is a good variation to implement to strengthen that deltoid at those different points. So I just need to move this slightly more left. There we go, it's more or less. All right, now I have the fun part of there. This is the challenging part, is putting the bands on. So anchoring at the elbow. So here they're stretching the deltoid. So they're crisscrossed, you can see. And now keep the knees locked And so you're going to use this to activate both sides at the same time. So here, can raise the position of your elbows. Meanwhile, holding the bands, because it's tugging. It starts here. You can see that the band is stretched. So you don't have to pull the bands too far apart. Up to here, that's basically it, and that matches the area in which the first exercise starts to cover. So you're overlapping a little bit, but not much. But you want to focus more here, this way. So by holding it this, knees are locked. You can do a TKE version if you wish, by holding here and then pushing out with your elbows. But in a way it doesn't feel the same. So you can do that as if you can feel the muscle is tired, which I'm starting to feel now. So here I'm working the type 2 muscle in the shoulder from the stretched. Oh wow. I'm going to switch the position here so the finish the balance. So my left one is a little bit higher. You know anybody that's a hockey player, for example, and they need to strengthen their shoulders, this sequence is very good to help keep that joint in place, keep the shoulders strong as well and developed. Next exercise is going to be the medial deltoid. So I'm going to take these red bands off, and they will get one will get put on hold here for a bit. So, front delt. Oh, here, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to set it up for the next, since I'm holding it, and take it off. And this is going to be for the front deltoid when the time comes. Next exercise. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, okay. I'm going to use this band. I'm going to set it up for the medial. So that's where I need to take the okay. So I've got two door anchors, which are going to be going underneath my feet. In addition to that, I'm going to grab, oh, there it is, the green band, which is going to go on the bottom here. And this is going to be used for, I had an idea earlier. I was experimenting, and I changed my mind. Alright, so taking the the strap here, or the regular handle, so I can have a ring on there. Now kind of eye the center point. This is the center right here. Oh, maybe a little too far. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yep, looks good. All right, so grab this one here and put that on the outside of my foot. And this one's going to go as well on the outside. That's the anchor point. And the reason being is because I want kind of equal amount of slack on both sides. Okay, it's good. So this is going to go on the elbows, so up, that's good. Feels good. All right, so, and then grabbing the green bands, and they will complete the full kind of range of motion or range of movement, because I want tension at the bottom here. That's why I'm holding the green bands. I want them pushed down with the elbows and start across, and you want the delts to be activated at the bottom, and then all the way through. The red completes it. So keep the knees locked. So really focusing on the deltoid, getting the deltoid to do the work. You don't get the traps involved. Don't move keep your elbows down or your shoulders down. Press down and then execute the movement. Don't lift those traps up. There's still tension on the medial delt at this point here. I'm not giving it a break. Oh. Okay. An explosive rep. Isometric hold. Slow negative. Oh, wow. Oh. The medial delt is a small muscle, so you kind of have to be careful with how much you lift, especially with this. I'm using a 5 plus 8, so a total of 13 per side, but the probably go lighter on the green, but wow. it certainly makes those real delts, or the medial delt, fire up. And it's very good. You could switch to, how would you say, a L raise, for example. That's what they typically call it. All right, next up is the front deltoids. So that's where I'm going to switch here, the position of the vibration plate. I'm going to use the green band that I have here. But in addition to that, I'm going to take one of the door stops off this red band, as well as the other anchor, and secure the one door anchor to both, or to one ankle strap. Okay, that's one. And then I'm going to take this band off here and attach the, and then the ankle strap onto this. So that's going to complete the other side. And I will take this like that. I'll set this up here first. One side. And then the green band attached to the red. So just going to put that here like that. Now grab this guy, attach the green. I could probably go heavier, but for the amount of time that I'm spending here, time under tension, it works the shoulder very good. And by trying to press through failure, so here I am, kind of a 45-degree angle, pressing outwards like that. Slow negative. Make sure your knees are locked. That way the vibration is traveling all the way up to your hands. But most importantly, into the front deltoid. So I can wave them up a little bit like this. To get a different feel, and it does feel different. Wow. Front delts, wow. This is a muscle that I kind of always, I think, been strong with, because it gets involved with the push-up to a degree, but I think with my accordion playing, All right. That is the front deltoid. Next up is the rotator. So, that's where I'm going to change this position. Yeah, about there. Grab the handy pool noodle, and I just realized I'm going to put the smaller one on here. I've got another ankle strap that's just smaller, wrapped around a couple times, so it just stays more put on the wrist. So I've got adequate band or adequate tension on the band at the starting point, which is you don't want it to be loose, loopy, straight. And let's begin with the rotator. So with this one here, you can do a couple different variations. You can take the pool noodle, pull it on the other side, and that way you keep your opposite elbow in place, and then you rotate it through. You can do this here. Always remember too to keep your knees locked as much as possible, so that way the vibration is traveling all the way through to the rotator. So holding it isometrically here. And then you turn, face more towards the anchor point. Then you have a greater tension on when you're extending out. So filling the gaps within the range of movement. Essentially, when you twist like this, holding it isometrically, you can feel the muscle get tired. Now I'm going to turn away, so now I'm pulling. Here, and I can feel the rotator getting worked from the amplitude of the vibrations. So now here, by having the ankle strap on the wrist, it takes out the compensation at the palm, because the wrist moves like this when it's uncomfortable, especially for the delt or for the rotator, and you want to limit that as much as possible to keep the focus on the rotator. It's the small details that make the difference. Rotate through. Wow, that certainly feels really good. All right, now switch sides. Maybe what I'll do is try a little bit here. So, by holding the pool noodle with my other elbow, my fist is holding here, so you get a little bit different feel to the rotator. So again, rotating or twisting the body in relation to the anchor point. So holding it isometrically here all the way through. My left is definitely stronger than my right side, I can tell right away. And that has everything to do with playing my accordion for all the years that I've been doing it. Probably explains why I have a little bit of difference between the symmetry between both sides. And if you look closely, you can see it on a big screen TV. You can see it. So if you're watching the video from YouTube, you can see, as opposed to an iPad or a phone. So here, I'm rotating slowly. And I can definitely feel the tension it puts on the muscle as I move through. Get a break for a moment. Allow the blood to flow back. Wow. Alright, so that's the rotator. Last but not least is going to be the traps. That's where I'm going to take the ankle strap that I just used and grab the other small one. And I'm going to grab 2 orange bands. So this is equivalent to 60 pounds worth of resistance on each side. And just gonna turn this here. So what I'm gonna do is step on the orange bands, kind of get the there we go, that's good. Now, I have full tension at the bottom of the pole here. So this is mimicking a farmer's carry, but like I'm running with the wheelbarrow down the street. Look at this crazy guy! He's running down the street holding this wheelbarrow. Look at that! Look how fast he's running. So